And then did you overcome them or still overcoming them?
I think something interesting that I think of is the idea of biases, and we all face them in different ways. I will tell you the truth. When I first started at my first job, I feel that I experienced something that usually is attributed to a different group of people. So have you heard of age bias before?
No.
So age bias is typically defined of discrimination if someone is too old in the job world, like that kind of bias of maybe an HR department might not hire someone because they're too old for the job. They won't be able to keep up with the technology or something like that. That's the typical example if you look up a textbook definition of age bias for what kind of discrimination it is. However, I'll tell you an interesting answer to this question is I feel like I faced age bias, but as being too young, because I have a youthful face. I've heard I have a small stature.
Well,
I'm not even, I'll be honest and just share because people, this is really funny. I did not meet a lot of people clearly during the pandemic, and a lot of my transitions happened during the pandemic. So there were jobs that I took. I had one job, the job that I mentioned being a grant writer. It was remote. I never met most of the people in real life. It was all done on Zoom or Teams and everything like that. And eventually at some other event, I ended up meeting someone, and they were so surprised to see me in real life because, again, I'm not ashamed of this at all, but I'm not even 5 feet tall. I'm 4 feet 9 inches. So I'm petite. And what that really, going back to the what challenge did I face is that being young, being youthful, being bite-sized, or these are the types of words I would hear, and it's hard to be taken seriously sometimes when you're in person or whatever the case. Being too young can be something that has happened. I think this happens not just to me, to other women as well. And so, how did I overcome this? My suggestion and how I did it was just know your stuff. Be confident. Confidence can shine. It's okay if someone says something and I think being humorous and being able to take things and not take things too seriously and being easily offended is not going to be, for me,